Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs with Valley Ridge. And the purpose of today's video is to talk about the stripping of Illinois residents' Second Amendment rights, specifically in the village of Deerfield, Illinois, which is a suburb, quasi-suburb of the non-People's Republic of the horrifying existence known as Chicago. Anybody that's been to Northern Illinois knows what their mindset, their mentality is up there near Chicago in the suburbs, places like that. Thank God I was not born there. But I can tell you all this right now, that this is a topic that's dear to me because I have family that lives in Illinois. I've got friends that live there. What I'm referring to is a city ordinance in Deerfield which carte blanche banned semi-automatic firearms such as the AR-15 as well as semi-automatic pistols. In fact, what I'm holding here right now, my AR-15, which is loaded with 30 rounds, and it is sighted in, ready to go. And also, if you can see my pistol right here, which I've got, my Glock 19 with 15 rounds, I would be required, if I lived in Deerfield, I would be required to either move out of that town or surrender them to law enforcement. Those are the choices people are having to make right now. And I know that this isn't the only instance that's happened nationwide. I know this has happened elsewhere in places like Connecticut. I know it's happened elsewhere. I can't do a video about every single place. The reason I'm doing it about Illinois is that I'm speaking about this as a former full-time sworn law enforcement officer. I have several friends who are full-time sworn law enforcement officers in the state of Illinois right now, to include Brian and Ryan, as well as Andy and Tim that were recently, and then one still is law enforcement. Not only would these guys not follow this law, they would arrest people that tried to enforce this law. So let's really get the rundown on what's happening here. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, Illinois has the dubious honor of the state with the fastest fleeing population of any state in the country. And the reason is because of high taxation and stupid rules like this in Deerfield, Illinois, where people are having to turn in their lawfully acquired property. Well, they're not having to. We'll get into that later. Now, this ordinance is supposed to take effect on this week. It will take effect, I believe, June 9th, which is Saturday, conveniently. Now, we have to think about what is happening right now in the state of Illinois. If a city council can just decide that the Second Amendment no longer applies, and by the way, this is also a Fourth Amendment issue as well, isn't it? Illegal search and seizure by agents of government. So now we have 1/5 of the Bill of Rights just absolutely abrogated, just stripped away completely carte blanche by a group of idiotic city council members. And I want you to understand, folks, if I had what I have on right now in the town of Deerfield, Illinois, that I would be fined $1,000 a day for not complying with this. I want you to think how asinine that truly is. People, adults, law-abiding citizens that had done nothing wrong but buy legal firearms in their state, already having to jump through every hoop Illinois makes them go through. A FOID card, firearms ownership ID card. Does it get more Gestapo than that? You know, you also think about the background. Obviously, everybody's got to go through background checks when they buy a firearm from an FFL. But in Illinois, they've got an extra kind of stupid. They've got a 1-day wait for long guns and a 3-day wait for pistols. Yeah, I'm sure the stalker is going to he's going to really honor that 3-day grace period for somebody trying to protect themselves. How stupid does it get? So while we're stripping the Bill of Rights away, why don't we just quarter troops inside somebody's house? Deerfield, let's mandate that you have to house all of the police officers at the citizens' expense in their own homes. Why don't we do that? And while we're at it, the whole right to speedy and fair trial, yeah, screw that, man. We don't need that either. Cruel and unusual punishment? Hell, let's just torture the hell out of them until they confess to where their guns are. As a matter of fact, let's go right down the Bill of Rights and just screw it up completely. Let's just get rid of it all, because you obviously don't understand how this works. So I guess this is a message more to the law enforcement up there in Deerfield than anything else, but it's also for the citizens. For the law enforcement up there, you don't have to follow this law. You took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, not Deerfield, Illinois city ordinances. So if you got to call in sick, or if you've got to start arresting fellow officers and start making pinches with that, then go ahead and do that too, because history's going to judge you on what you do. I don't care what badge that you wear. I don't care what kind of police officer you think you are. When you start stripping people's Second Amendment and Fourth Amendment and everything else, when you start doing that, you cease to be a law enforcement officer and start being an agent of the state who goes to the highest bidder, whose services go to the highest bidder. And that's what we do not do in the United States. I guess my final point on this is that we've got 3 levels of cowardice at play. The first level of cowardice is the people that pass the ordinance. the City Council of Deerfield. You are all a bunch of cowards. For those of you, I don't know if anybody voted against it. If you did, congratulations. But those of you that voted for this ordinance, you are the special kind of coward. You are using the law not to protect people's rights, but to strip them away, going completely against the spirit of laws in this nation. The other level of cowardice would be the law enforcement officers that would enforce this. Because guess what? Without police, you don't have an ordinance that has any teeth to it. So if you're a police officer that's going to go search for firearms from law-abiding citizens, you're a gutless coward. You're an absolute gutless coward if you do that. And the third level of cowardice on this is the citizens themselves. If you comply with this city ordinance, you are the biggest coward of all. And quite honestly, if you turn your guns in, you don't deserve to have them in the first place. Why don't you sell them to somebody that's actually going to use them for what they were designed for, which is to protect their homes and their family against tyranny? And all you Mullen Lobby 3%ers out there on your trucks, on your bumper stickers and everything, if you wanted to know what confiscation looks like, you're looking at it in Deerfield, Illinois. You're looking it straight in the face. So all those times where you say, well, the Second Amendment's designed to fight against tyranny, you got that fight right in your front yard. So you make the decision on what you're going to do. But I'll tell you what I would do. I wouldn't comply. I wouldn't comply at all. In fact, I would do the opposite of complying. I'd get right in their face with it and tell them how stupid and wrong that they were. And I hope the NRA's lawsuit goes well against this. And I hope that that city loses billions and billions of dollars, because that's what should happen in this case. If you found the information in this video helpful, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook. That link is down below. And if you want to learn how to use your now banned AR-15s and semi-automatic pistols that are now banned in Deerfield, come on out to Valley Ridge. We can teach you how to do just that. This is Reid Henrichs with Valley Ridge, reminding you the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.